Welcome to the BTS Presents show. And now a word from our sponsor.
Hello, I am Sunam from Royal Taj. Have a mango lassi with your lunch coffee.
Hi everybody, we're here with BTS Presents. I'm interviewing Jeff Hammer, the owner of Avatar Imports, right down here on Pacific Avenue next to Community TV. He's going to be telling us a lot about the Kamlari project in Nepal. Jeff, you've been going to Nepal for many years now?
Yeah, I started going to Nepal in 1991.
And what took you to Nepal?
Me and my business partner, Tim Frankel, had worked for other companies, importing from different countries, from Guatemala, from Indonesia, and we decided that we wanted to do it ourselves. So he left first, and we went to India first, trying to find a factory, find some people we could work with, find some artisans we could get things started with. But then we promptly got robbed in India, and then we went up to Nepal, and we found a lot of the same people, the manufacturer and the factory that we're still working with today.
So were they doing the same kinds of things in India that they were doing in Nepal?
India is different. It's a different culture. It's a different, just different way of looking at things for sure. We found that it was just much easier for us to do work in Nepal because I like the Nepali culture. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for the people that we work with there, and our artisans and the managers and everyone there. So.
It looks like you have a lot of clothing here, which I'm dying to try on. Was this what you were looking for when you went to Nepal?
When we went over, we had decided that we wanted to start our own company, and we figured if we were going to be in the clothing business, we might as well do it right. So from the beginning, we started with the fair trade practices, and this was long before there was a Fair Trade Federation in America or even a World Fair Trade Organization. We just figured that if everyone can win as we go along, we can pay our people a living wage and they can have a good life for themselves and their children, then the whole situation is going to be a better situation. So we started with those practices, and then we continue those practices today. So.
I understand you met your beautiful wife that we call Lady Ganga.
Yeah, Lady Ganga, yeah, right.
I understand that you met your lovely wife in Nepal.
In Nepal, yeah. We met 14 years ago, maybe going on 15 years ago now. I'd been going to Nepal at that time for many years, but I'd met her in a trekking store, which is like a hiking store, and we just kind of hit it off right away. And then I started making excuses to go back, and I need to look at new boots, I need to look at a backpack, and so then we just hit it off. Though my Nepali was terrible and her English was terrible, we just kind of liked each other, from the beginning.
Did she know why you were coming to the trekking store?
I think she had her suspicions for sure. So, but then over the course of the next couple of years, we built a friendship, and like the second year I noticed that her shawl was old and had holes in it, so I bought her a new shawl just as kind of a courting gift. And but then the next year I came back and the trekking store was gone and she was gone. So
where did they go?
Yeah, this all builds into the Kamlari story. My wife was given away at age 11 by her family. She comes from the central part of Nepal, so it's not called the Kamlari, but her caste is a Mugger caste, so it's a different caste, but it's the same concept. Her family, they're incredibly poor subsistence farmers. She had a brother who died and a sister who died very close to each other of tuberculosis, and their father and mother had no way of keeping her alive. They had no way, so they gave her away. They didn't sell her to a rich family in Kathmandu, who basically in return they were going to keep her alive and keep her fed and in theory give them some money. But
these rich families that come to these villages and buy or are given these young girls, how do they find these places?
It's a common practice. It's a real common practice, especially in the poorer Terai districts which is the region of Nepal that is nearer India. It's been going on for many generations. They have no way of keeping their children alive. They don't grow enough rice. They don't grow enough turmeric. They don't grow enough. They just don't have enough to keep the children alive. In their heart and minds, they are making the right decision to give these children away. And in some cases, it turns out a really bad decision for the daughter, and in some cases it doesn't turn out so bad, but in many cases it turns out that she lives a very, very hard life, and which was the case with my wife. She, had no childhood. She worked, she had no new clothes. She ate the scraps off the table from the rich family. She was treated very, very poorly, and worked 16 hours a day, or if not more.
Doing what? What was she doing?
She did a lot of work in the fields and
In
worked
the
with
fields?
labor, hard labor. Working, cutting rice and planting and just a really cleaning all their clothes, doing all their their dishes. Just a lot of hard labor.
So she was doing housework in addition to field labor?
Yeah, absolutely. They had her get up at the crack of dawn every day and worked until after dark every day.
And this is when she was 11.
Yeah, so she's starting at age 11. So what had happened is my wife, she had saved enough money by working at this trucking store to go to back to her village for the first time. She had been gone for 9 years. Her family had no idea if she was alive. They actually thought she was dead, and that she had no idea who was alive in her family still. So she took the money that she'd saved and went back to her village. And when she went into the village, she saw her older sister in the field, and she called off to her Didi, which means older sister, and her sister thought she was a ghost, and she ran to the house. And so when she got back to the house, she told, then Gunga came into the house, and she saw her father, and her father immediately went into shock, just couldn't believe that she was alive. So, and then her mother came in and cried, and it was just, they were incredibly happy she was still alive. So. But she ended up staying for 2 years and helping the family after she went back there because they needed her. Her father was sick at the time with tuberculosis, so she helped with the family, and so that's what happened. She left, and I didn't see her for 2 years.
Wow. So how did Ganga feel when she left the family? How did she feel about being given away?
She's been very, very angry at her family because for many years, and we've had long talks about this, many years, she was so angry at her parents for giving her away. But after she got back to her family and realized what they did and realized why they did it, now she loves her family very much, and she's forgiven them for. She understood that they were doing the best thing they could do for her at the time, and they did it with kindness and love in their hearts.
Are her parents still alive?
Oh yeah, mother and father are still alive. They're doing great. I get to see them. I go back and visit them for the Hindu holidays every year. So.
And you and your wife, Ganga, Lady Ganga, how long ago did you get married?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Here, there?
We got married actually here in America. I brought her to America on a fiancé visa, just in case she didn't like it, just in case, she had been, it's an incredible culture shock for coming from Kathmandu and coming from her lifestyle to coming to America. So I just wanted to make sure she liked it here before and give her the option, if she did. But thankfully, we live here in Santa Cruz, and it's a pretty nice place to be. So.
What did she think when she first got here?
It blew her mind. I mean, truly blew her mind. One of the stories that I tell is we first got to the airport, and we get out of the airport, and we're going to a restaurant, and we walk up to the door of a restaurant, and it was an automatic door, and the door opened, she went, wow. Just amazing that the door is opening for you in America. It's just a completely different culture. So
the doors have opened.
The doors have opened, right? Exactly.
Right. Wow, that's great.
Well, and after her, basically, me living her story and meeting her family and it's one of the main reasons we got involved in the whole Kamlari project. We just saw a real opportunity. We were introduced to this whole project from a friend of ours who worked with UNICEF. We jumped at the chance. We saw a real opportunity to make a difference in some women's lives who really hadn't gotten many breaks, up until then.
Right. So tell me a little bit more about the Kamlari project.
Well, when I first heard about it, like I said, the Taru and where they're from is from the southwestern part of Nepal.
And the Taru, this is Ganga's?
No, she's a mugger actually.
Okay,
but the Taru they're another caste, but a very similar, like a lower caste, right? And they're subsistence farmers. That's what they do, and that's what they've always done.
Do
Hard
they
work.
sell? Do they sell their?
Yeah, I mean, very rare. I mean, they make enough for their families, and then they do a lot of trading, and then but then they also, if they grow extra for the season, they'll be happy to sell it. And if they have more dal than they're going to use, or more rice than they're going to use, they definitely sell anything they have extra. I happened to be in Nepal when the owner of the factory, our fair trade factory in Nepal, Jayendra, and he said, "Let's go." So we got on a plane and actually flew down to Nepal Ganj, which is way out in the wild west of Nepal, and to meet with these women, just to see where they're coming from and what kind of help we could actually be. So we flew down there, and, it was just an amazing event. So we got introduced to the women. They were unbelievably excited to get involved and to get started with us. So
How many women are we talking about?
now we started off with 24. We started,
Right.
but now we're closer to 50 that actually work in our factory now in Kathmandu. We actually have built a dormitory for them. We made sure that we have a really safe place to live, a really safe place where they feel secure. So we built our own dormitory for them to come up and live in the dormitory while they're working in our factory.
And you built this, or your company, your project built this dormitory?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so a little bit about our factory in Kathmandu. I've been working, like I said, we've been working with a lot of the same people for the 22 years. I've seen a lot of these people's children go to college, living a living wage makes a huge difference anywhere.
What's a living wage?
A living wage is, if you compare it to a minimum wage, right? A minimum wage like we have here in America. A living wage, just here in Santa Cruz recently, they decided that a living wage if you lived in Santa Cruz, the city of Santa Cruz, was $11 an hour. So it's not just, you just can't get by. You can actually, you can live a better life. You can think about buying something. You can think about, it's not just a minimum wage. So we're paying the comparable wage to the people that work in our factory, and anybody who works in any aspect of our manufacturing there earns this living wage. It's not just the stitchers or the masters or the people who do the tailors. It's everybody. And again, we set it up that way because we just thought it was the right thing to do.
Right. We're going to come right back in just a few minutes, right after this video.
I knew they were coming to take me. I cried the whole day, hoping the car would never come. But it came.
I didn't even know where I was going or who the people were. My parents simply said I had to go and work. We were so poor. My mother tried to make me feel better by saying that if I became a Kamlari, at least my brothers and sisters would have food to eat.
Project Kamlari, helping bonded Nepali women bloom. There is a traditional saying in Nepal about daughters. Raising a girl is like watering your neighbor's garden. Traditionally, in Nepal's poorer families, Nepali girls are less likely than their brothers to get an education or earn an income, and in some families are considered temporary mouths to feed, as they will move in with their husband family at marriage. In the country's poorest rural villages of southwestern Nepal, there is a specific kind of discarded daughter found only among the ethnic Taru farming families. Kamlaris are bonded house slaves, as young as 5, who toil away their childhoods cooking, cleaning, and babysitting in the homes of higher caste families. Impoverished Taru fathers, with other little choice, sell their daughters to work as Kamlaris. In exchange, employers make promises to feed, clothe, and educate the girl. Trusting, illiterate, and desperate, Taru parents rationalize the sale by saying their daughter won't have to beg for food in the village and her price tag will feed the rest of the family. But bonded girls report being beaten, raped, starved, and forced to sleep on the floor. Few Kamlaris go to school, and in the worst cases, simply disappear. What's most troubling is that even if these girls manage to escape slavery, there is nowhere for them to go. Without an education, they have very little chance of getting a job or career, ultimately being forced into prostitution or some other form of slavery. Friends of Needy Children, FNC, with the support of the Nepal Youth Foundation, NYF, and in collaboration with the Nepali government, has rescued over 11,000 such girls from servitude. Among them, over 7,500 are now going to school, and approximately 2,500 are looking for vocational opportunities, as they are already over age for going to school. Avatar and its partner Fair Trade Factory, Suja Traders, is proud to announce it is partnered with FNC with the intention of providing an opportunity to these young women. We are currently training 24 women on various stitching techniques. Once trained, we will employ these women at Suja Traders in Kathmandu. Avatar Suja Traders will pay them a livable wage and will also provide housing for the women who need it. This will be an ongoing partnership, and we intend to train and employ as many Kamlaris as possible. All people deserve the right to live a free, dignified life. It is our sincere hope that the opportunities we are providing for these women will enable them to grow and blossom into the women they aspire to be.
You've been watching the BTS Present show.
I'm here with Jeff, who is the owner of Avatar and also the director of the Kamlari project. We have with us his designer who does a children's line, and it's Michelle Nicely, who is nicely going to show us some of the fashions from Avatar. Michelle, would you give us a little walk down the runway, please? She's wearing clothing that is designed and
manufactured with the Kamlari. The women actually sewed this garment, both the top, the skirt, and the jacket that she has on.
So these were made in
our factory in Kathmandu.
In Kathmandu. Mm-hmm. And did she get these in Kathmandu, or she got them right next door?
She got them right next door.
Right next door. Wow, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for your walk down the runway. And standing next to you is your lovely wife, Lady Ganga, is that correct?
Lady Ganga, yeah, that's her.
You lucky man.
I am incredibly fortunate.
You are. And your lovely wife is wearing?
So traditional Nepali kurtal saro. Kurtal saro. It's kind of she wanted to get dressed up in a traditional garment to kind of show her pride in being a Nepali.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Would you take a little walk down our runway here? Just take a little walk and turn around so we can see your lovely outfit. This is Lady Ganga, folks. She's going to put Lady Gaga to shame any day now. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you. And we have some great clothing from Avatar.
From Avatar, yeah.
From Avatar, and Ganga is going to show us what these are. Now, these clothes fit Ganga. Let's flip it around and see what that looks like. This lovely skirt you can buy if I don't get it first. And this is available next door at Avatar. Avatar, right.
So a lot of these, the stripe materials, it's all traditional cotton. It's hand spun and hand loomed in Nepal. And so we try to use as many of the local products as we can and employ as many of the local people, the weavers, the dyers, as many of the local people as we possibly can. So.
Right. And let's see, I think I might want this skirt, so I want to get that away from over here before anybody else walks off with it. Let's see another item there. Let's see another item. This is another skirt that is available over at Avatar.
Again, we're using the same. We're using the flat cotton, the local coconut buttons that are all made locally, and then again the hand loomed cotton at the bottom. So.
Ganga, do you like these? Do you like these clothes? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah.
You have a favorite? Is her favorite here? Do we have one
No,
of
I
her?
think she's got mostly, she hasn't, this is the new collection, the
Oh.
spring-summer collection for 2013. So she hasn't had the opportunity to shop it yet, is what she hasn't. So,
Okay, I bet these things look absolutely beautiful on her.
yeah, thankfully, she fits our stuff really well.
I can tell that she does. I can tell that she does. There's another little dress under here. This looks like it would look great on her. Whoops. Try to get away from the hangers there. Great little beautiful dress. I don't know that it's as beautiful as what she has on, but you probably can't get what she has on.
Right, exactly. Not here in America.
Not
usually.
here in America. You'd have to go to Kathmandu.
Right. Thanks, Bill. I really
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you, Ganga. Thank you very much. She likes Santa Cruz.
It's hard not to like Santa Cruz. You know,
Right.
Santa Cruz is a pretty magical place.
Right.
Most Nepalese who come over here very rarely get to go back because it is kind of an expensive ticket. But since I go over so often, I just build my miles up, and she uses my frequent flyer route, so it works out. Well, I think it's really important for us to be there and be hands-on. Make sure that everything's going well. Make sure that everyone is being treated well. I mean, it's the more we're there, the more hands-on we are, the better everything works. You know?
Right. And when you go back, does your lovely wife go with you?
Sometimes, once a year usually. She just got back. She's spent 2.5 months over there, so she's the lucky one. But I'll go back. I'm actually going back in 2 weeks, and then we'll both go back for, like I said, for the Hindu holidays. So, and she'll get to spend time in her village, and I'll get to go spend time in her village also.
So now let's get back to the clothes.
Okay.
Who designs your clothing?
There's a team. I'm the head designer. I definitely do most of the designing, with a lot of help though. A lot of help. We have a woman who graduated from the Fashion Institute in Nepal, helping us on the Nepali end. I have a woman who's just graduated from FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology here in San Francisco, who's helping me with the fall line. I've got a friend, Laura, who's been helping me for years. She just does a fantastic job and she's got a great eye for fashion. We wholesale to about 800 stores across country in Canada.
Wow.
We do several trade shows in New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, all throughout the year. We're promoting the line and getting the word out about what we're doing and how we're helping the Kamlari. And people respond to it. They want authenticity. They want to see that, hey, not only is this cute, I'm supporting what I believe in, and I'm helping people along the way.
It just looks like really fun clothing.
Yeah, it really, it's fashion forward. I mean, and I think one of the reasons why we've done so well is we're fashion forward, but we're, and fair trade. And
Right.
people want to look cute, but they want to support things they believe in, and they want it to be, something that they can afford. So I think we're hitting all three of those things, and that's really why I think we're being so successful right now.
Can you tell me about this label?
Yeah, what we try to do is make the whole process of the garments much more personal. When you buy a garment in practically anywhere you go into a store in America, you have no connection with the person who made that garment. We're putting pictures of the Kamlari women who sewed this garment on the swing tag, on the garment. So it's just not just coming from a factory in some place where you have no control over, or no understanding of who made it. We're trying to really bring the connection between the person who made it and the person who is buying that garment. I think it's important because you know the story. You know what you're supporting. You are voting with your dollar. You're being the change that you want to be.
Right. So this lovely lady on this card is
works in our factory. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. And how many people did you say are in your factory
We have
now?
about 200 people working in the factory.
About
right
200,
now.
and they're in
In Kathmandu.
In Kathmandu.
Yeah, right outside in the Gungabu district of Kathmandu. We have about 200 people in the factory, and now almost 50 of them are the Kamlari women that we've trained. So.
And this dormitory that you have is also in Kathmandu?
It's walking distance to the factory.
Walking distance.
Yeah, we made sure that it's, like you said, it's a safe environment, someplace they feel very comfortable. They get to do all their cooking. I feel just blessed to be a part of this organization and what's been happening and the change I've seen in these women, and it's changed not only their lives but their children's lives, their families' lives. It's been a fantastic organization. Within the next month, we will be the first garment factory in Nepal to be certified by the World Fair Trade Organization as a fair trade factory. Well, they've been able to visit our factory 8 times.
Wow.
I got to spend a whole day with a social auditor there who interviewed everyone who works for our factory, make sure that they're treated well, make sure that everything from the lighting and the access to good water to they actually take our water home, and we have a whole filtration system for them, and it was just absolutely fascinating and fantastic to be sitting there and seeing, that now we're being recognized for what we're doing, and we've been doing this since the beginning.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. I could just go on and on about clothing,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
see
dying
that,
to
yeah.
try on these skirts, but I want to thank you very much for being here and for sharing with us about your store and for the Kamlari project. It's a wonderful thing you're doing. And thanks to Michelle for modeling some of your clothing. It was divine. And thank you, Lady Ganga, for coming up and showing us your beautiful traditional dress. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks very much, everybody. This is BTS Presents, signing off.
Namaste, I am Urmila Chaudhary, Common for Kamlari Freedom District Chairperson, and my Common for Kamlari Freedom is board member.
तिनीहरूलाई पनि मुक्त गर्नको लागि त्यो हाम्रो एकजुटले सहयोग गरोस् भनेर हाम्रो कमन फर कमलरी फ्रिडम भनेर एउटा सामूहिक लुज फोरमको रूपमा एउटा संस्था जस्तै खोलेको एउटा समूह यो चाहिँ लावजुनी गर्ल्स होस्टेल हो। यहाँ कमलरी बहिनीहरू विभिन्न ठाउँबाट आएर बस्नु भएको छ जो अभिभावक बिन हुनुहुन्छ। त्यो लावजुन भनेको न्यू लाइफ, उ चाहिँ फेरि जन्म पाएको, पुनः जन्म लिएको र उ अर्को जन्म म के गर्न सकोस् भनेर।
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hello, I am Snam from Royal Taj. Have a mango lassi with your lunch coffee.
सपनालाई पुरा गर्न चाहिँ ला पढ्न चाहन्छु र मेरो जुन मुक्त भएका साथी बहिनीहरू हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूको पनि सपना पुरा होस् र हामी एकजुट हुँदै यस्तै र्याली अनि तपाईहरुको साथ लिँदै हामी अगाडि बढ्छौं भन्ने एकदमै आशा छ।
This program, you can support community television with a generous contribution. Send your tax-deductible donation to CTV 816 Pacific Avenue, Santa Cruz, California, 95060. You can also support CTV by giving a donation online at www.communitytv.org. Then press the donate key.